Welcome to Game Chat with Bwana, your source for gaming news and reviews. Now, here's Bwana McCall.
This is Game Chat with Bwana episode Beat Up Sack Boy. This is episode 25 Game Chat with Bwana. Tonight is July 25th, 2011. We're here to talk about game stories and game chats and game nonsense and gaming news because that's what we do here every Monday night about 8 o'clock. But I gotta say, that 8 o'clock just like that just didn't happen tonight because I ran late first off, and then when I finally got ready to go, the stream started acting up, so I had to adjust some settings, had to do some stuff, but we're here at about 8:45. Yeah, getting a late start here at Game Chat with Bwana, but we're gonna do it the way we do it always. We do it this way because that's the only way we know how. What we do here at Game Chat with Bwana is that we talk about the latest gaming news, and we talk about the past 7 days of gaming news because we don't want to bombard you with about 10,000 stories if we talk about more than that. We try to find the best stories of the week, and if we don't, you guys help me out, and you go to my forum at bwana.tv/forums and you post additional stories, some addendums to the particular stories that we have chosen. So I do my best to pick them, but I miss some. I miss a lot, actually, and I rely on you guys for that. We have interactive chat here at Game Chat with Bwana over at twitch.tv/Bwana or at live.bwana.tv. And you guys can participate in the chat while I do the show, read the stories, and participate and all that good stuff. So without further ado, we got about 13 stories to talk about, so I'm not going to prolong this intro any longer here. But before I continue, let me talk about the Tech Podcast Network. If this tech is here, I'm part of the Tech Podcast Network, and we're a group of podcasters who formed a community to basically help each other out, to help each other through the podcasting woes, and to help us out technically, where to find the best deals, where to find hosting, where should I store my podcast files, how should I increase viewership on my shows, and things like that to help get your podcast off the ground. We're a great community over there at techpodcast.com, and I encourage you, if you are looking to start a podcast, to consider our community, to join it, to get started. Also, if you're looking for other great podcasts to listen to, kind of similar to mine, not exactly like mine, go over to techpodcast.com. Check us out over there. TPN is looking for new people all the time, and we'll be happy to have you. So let's go ahead and get started with our first story. Our first story, we're going to talk about, you guys heard this thing called Comic-Con? You may have. It's one of those events, big nerd events, geek events. If you go, it just smells like sweaty nerd. It just smells like smells like nervousness. Smells like sweaty cosplay. Smells like brand new. No, it smells like ink, like marker ink, from all the celebrities signing autographs. It's a nerdvana. You got to go to Comic-Con if you haven't been to one of these conventions. It's a huge convention. The reason I bring it up is because a lot of video game companies they use Comic-Con as a springboard to announce new things, to show new trailers, and one of those games was Star Wars: The Old Republic, and we've been talking about this game for many months, and Star Wars: The Old Republic has finally, unleashed the gates. And a few days ago, they started pre-orders, and I gotta tell you, people just went nuts. I don't know the exact numbers, but all kinds of people were going in to pre-order the game. I think so many copies of, like, a bunch of outlets sold out of digital collector's editions, and it was just ridiculous as to how many people want this game. It's got an insane amount of hype. I think it's probably one of the most hyped games since Halo, I gotta say. And Halo is way up there in terms of hype. I mean, Halo had like celebrity parties and New York kinds of things and all kinds of stuff like that. But Star Wars: The Old Republic has a huge huge hype. Now, the reason I'm bringing up all this stuff is because this story over on joystick.com, the beta test weekends are finally coming. Those of you who have been anxiously waiting to get into the beta, to get your Star Wars on, to assess the game, to get your complaints ready. Because once you play the beta, you're going to complain. You're going to go, well, I thought BioWare was going to do something absolutely different from what I'm used to seeing in other MMOs. But sadly, I was grossly misinformed about my preconditions of my brainial nerds. All of a sudden, I'm projected into a Star Wars realm that is not what I anticipated. The classes are so unbalanced. BioWare did not put any thought into the Jedi class because obviously a Jedi would not run like this. You guys are gonna complain. I know it. I know it. Star Wars: The Old Republic starts in September, guys. You are going to love it or you are going to hate it. But either way, you're going to complain, and that's why they have these beta test events. So you guys can go in and rip them, just rip them apart. Just tell them what's wrong with the game, so that it can make some kind of improvements to it. And it's going to be interesting to see, because I'm on that crowd. I'm on that side of the fence that says this game is probably not going to be as good as you think it is. I'm just going by what I've seen and read so far. It doesn't look like it's going to be as good as the hype, and a lot of people are going to be disappointed, man. I don't want that to happen, because the MMO genre is kind of like falling off a little bit. WoW. I blame WoW for that. That's what monopolies do. They kill the competition. So it's a sad situation if it does disappoint. But coming in September, beta test weekends over from the guys at Star Wars: The Old Republic. You can sign up. You can try signing up now, but I seriously doubt you'll get in, because I think the line to get in is probably longer than the distance from here to the Nebula. And I have no idea where the Nebula is. But I bet it's very, very far away. Check it out, guys. Joystick.com has this story. Star Wars: The Old Republic beta test begins in September. Burr. Now we're going to move on to some Microsoft news. I never talk about Microsoft stuff. You guys tell me that. Bwana, you don't talk about the 360 at all. I think you're biased. I think you're a PlayStation fanboy. You never cover the 360. Heck, you barely talk about the Wii. Wii. Microsoft is revealing a Droid-themed Xbox 360 bundle for the Star Wars Kinect, and it looks like R2-D2. And the controller looks like C-3PO. That's about it. It's going to be a bundle with the new Star Wars Kinect bundle that they announced at Comic-Con. So this is another Comic-Con announcement. Also included in the bundle, you're going to get a Kinect sensor, 320 gigabyte hard drive, and both the Star Wars Kinect and Kinect Adventures games, only for $449. Now, I gotta admire. I think the Xbox box looks good, but I'm not crazy about the controller. I would rather have the controller match the box. I don't know. The C3. I mean, the two colors kind of match, C3PO and R2D2. I don't know. It's not. I don't know. Something's not right with it. I don't know. It's just maybe because I've seen some really cool Star Wars case mods for 360 that kind of blow this out of the water. I don't know. It just seems like I can't put my finger on it. But yeah, it's going to be $449 if you guys are deeply into Star Wars and you're going to buy the Kinect bundle. You want to go lightsaber on and you want to slash and kill robots and those evil Sith lords. You can check out this bundle, which was just announced at Comic-Con. It should be available this fall. Yeah, looks it's going to come this fall. Pre-orders have already started, so if you want to get this particular 360 bundle, check it out. This is over in Gadget, actually. .com has a story over there. Now, while we're on the topic of Microsoft type games, Gears of War is one of the Microsoft Xbox 360 exclusives. And I follow this show. I used to follow it a lot, but I don't follow it as much, called American Chopper. It's with the Tuttles, Paul Tuttle Jr. and Paul Tuttle Sr. And they do custom bikes. They do custom motorcycles. And it was a great series. I watched it for many, many years, and it kind of went to this dramatic derp. I just don't like it anymore. It's just ridiculously goofy now. But I was very, very happy to see that Paul Tuttle Jr., which is my favorite builder on the show, has built this trike for Gears of War 3. And it looks absolutely sick. This bike is supremely epic. I am dead serious. This. I mean, I can't wait to see the show. It's going to come out. The show's actually going to air right before the Gears of War 3 release. So it's going to be September 19th and September 26th. Gears of War 3 is going to release on September 20th. So the show is going to kind of release before then. I'm telling you, man, this thing is just like pow. Look, you can't, because on the show you'll see the details a lot better. You'll see him build it, but I mean, Paul Jr. just always impresses me. So check this out, guys. This is over the Gears of War bike revealed at Comic-Con. Another thing at Comic-Con. WeTheGamers.com has a link. You gotta check this out. Even if you're not into bikes, man, this is a Gears of War 3 themed bike, and it's very nice. It's very, very nice. So we're going to move on to our next story, which has to do with GoldenEye. That's my best Tina Turner impression. I'm not going to be able to do that any better. We talked about GoldenEye Reloaded last week. It was a user-submitted story. And some leaked images have come about. This actually came out before Comic-Con. These leaked images were released of this particular game. And I gotta say, it looks really good. I gotta say, it looks like a pretty good reboot. HD GoldenEye is definitely something that I think a lot of you are going to be interested in. Especially, I think a lot of the gaming generation today, GoldenEye was their first shooter. GoldenEye 007 on the Nintendo 64 was your first shooter. And I think that's why a lot of gamers like shooters on consoles now. My generation, we did shooters on the PC. So we get nostalgic about Doom, and we get nostalgic about Wolfenstein and those games, those early shooters. And then when we talk about Quake and the multiplayer experience that Quake brought to the game, that's when we get all misty-eyed and go, oh, I remember spending many moons, many days playing Quake, rocket jumping across the map, sniping fools with the railgun. It was beautiful. Look, these images are awesome. Let's click through a few of them. You can check out this one. This is in a snow environment. This guy is kind of on one knee shooting. This guy's about to get shot, I think, or a teammate. Look at that PDA. That's not an iPhone at all. You got this particular environment shot. The graphics look pretty good. They look like they're in game. They don't look like they're pre-rendered. They do look like they're in game. Although some of these environments may be pre-rendered, I'm not sure. But some of the shots with players look like they're in pretty good shape for a game. So check it out, guys. This is over on PlayStationLifestyle.net. GoldenEye Reloaded. We got some images to show you. It looks pretty good. I bet you guys are getting excited. It's going to be on PSN. And I think it's going to be on the other platforms as well. This article is over on PlayStationLifestyle.net. But I don't recall from last week when we talked about it if it's going to be on all three platforms. I think it is. So check it out, guys. Now, from the utterly ridiculous department of the ridiculousness, we have a headset for $299.95. This is a Modern Warfare 3 headset. I'm at a loss. I don't even. It's. Oh. Air Force Delta. The EFD. Optimized programmable wireless Dolby 7.1 surround sound headset with Bluetooth chat. The top of the line EFD headset comes packaged with a specifically themed carrying case, and it's preloaded with unique custom Modern Warfare 3 presets and voice prompts. Air Force Delta is the ultimate Xbox 360 and PS3 weapon for the most avid Modern Warfare 3 players. MSRP $299.99. Are they insane? Are they mad? This is for a headset. $300 for a headset. Now they got some other ones here. They do. They got some Modern Warfare 3 theme ones. They got a $150 one. They got a $129 one. They even got a $99 one. Turtle Beach has lost their minds, guys. These are from Turtle Beach. That's the cost of the console. That is the cost of it. $300 is pretty much the cost of the console that you're paying for a headset. Wow. Now I'm a big fan of high quality inputs. I have an expensive keyboard and a semi-expensive mouse because I'm really picky about my inputs. My headsets, I got Tritons 720s. They weren't nearly $299. A lot less than that. I can't see myself purchasing a headset for that much. Hey, you know, maybe you guys can. I really can't see the justification for it. Check it out, guys. PlayStation Lifestyle.net. I can't say much else about it. They just scream overpriced to me. Just scream overpriced. $299.95. Modern Warfare 3 headsets coming at you. Get your Modern Warfare 3 on. Now, while we're talking about shooters, let's talk about Battlefield 3. Now, Battlefield 3 has grabbed me by the neck, and it has sucked me into its world, and I can't leave. I managed to watch some leaked footage and also an official, the video that's linked here, the Paris multiplayer gameplay. And I literally shed a tear. I was crying. There were tears of joy. I was like, this is it. I was like, this is it. This is it. I was like, this is the climax. This is the top of the hill, guys. DICE has outdone themselves. And you know what? We haven't even seen the jets yet. We haven't even seen the helicopters yet. We haven't even seen the things that make us love Battlefield yet. All we've seen in these trailers that they released is infantry play. This one we just saw. Infantry play. And I'm telling you, man, it's looking really, 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 really good. Now, I gotta say, I was hyped up about Modern Warfare 2 as well. I don't know if you guys remember when the Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer trailer came out. I was really hyped up about that too because at the time, I thought we were going to have dedicated servers, and the multiplayer gameplay looked really good. I'm on that same level of really impressions here. I actually watched the video about 16 times. And I try not to get too excited about these things. That's why I said Battlefield 3 has grabbed me by the throat and just like there's no turning back now. I'm gonna buy the game. I might even buy 2. I don't know. But this article talks about some hands-on experience with some journalists here. They talk about some of the maps, some of the things. Now let me tell you what I was impressed about with the video. What I was impressed about was I immediately noticed the EA Sports technology, the animations of the characters, like running real fast, stopping and sliding a little bit. The prone animation was my favorite feature, because you go prone, you drop fairly fast, but when you get up, it's almost like a 2-step process. You get up on one leg and then you get up on the second one, and it's not like you pop up, like you're a martial artist or something. You just go boop, like in other games. You actually get up slowly, and your gun kind of wavers a little bit. So dolphin diving is pretty much going to be a thing of the past. And also the reloading, the graphics, the guns, and finally the sounds. The sounds, DICE always produce some of the best sounds in the industry in terms of fighting games, in my opinion, and military games. And I was listening to this, and I was like, I didn't think it was possible to improve over Battlefield Bad Company 2. Because Battlefield Bad Company 2 really had excellent sounds. Really, really good sounds. And I listened to this, and I was like, they actually made it better. I was like, how can they... I mean, the rocket launcher sounded awesome. The gun sounded awesome. The echoing effects, when they were in the subway, the different types, the pistol, the tanks, I was just like, it was my ears were just like dancing. So without gushing too much more about Battlefield 3, because I'm impressed, check this story out, guys. Over on blog.usaplaystation.com, they got the details over there. This is probably one of the better games that you're going to see come out in a long, long time.
Game Chat with Bwana is recorded live before a worldwide audience every Monday night. You can participate by suggesting news stories. Just register an account in our forums at bwana.tv/forums.
Okay, we're still on the topic of shooters. And we're going to talk about Crysis 2. And we're going to see a rarity here, guys. We're going to see a game developer admit a mistake. Ooh, what? Yes. Crysis, Crytek, the guys behind Crysis, they've actually admitted that they made some mistakes, because they have seen that the multiplayer component of Crysis has kind of got a dead community. And this is coming from them. According to the article, it says that while the series has been known for its lengthy and involving campaign modes, the multiplayer was one of the big ticket items with the second installment. However, it didn't take long for many players to start heading back to other games, leaving the multiplayer feeling barren and in comparison to its first week. And I'll admittedly say I was interested in the game for the single player. I mean, I never bought it. I haven't bought it yet. I've missed a few sales, but I was single player. That was the only reason I was going to get it. I had no interest in the multiplayer. So the lead designer of Crytek, Stephen Lewis, he shared some of his team's disappointment with the multiplayer mode, and he said that he believes that the inner city maps, they suffered from not feeling very distinct. So I guess he said that the environment looked all the same. There wasn't a lot of variety. Because you were in, I believe most of the maps were in New York City. He said they added a lot of clutter to the maps, and it made navigation pretty hard. And he also said that coupled with an insufficient lighting, they believe that was the reasons that the multiplayer faded out so quickly. I've never played it. I have seen footage. The footage looks decent. I gotta say, I've seen people stream Crysis 2 multiplayer, but I come back the next day and they're not streaming it anymore. So, it's... It's, kind of disappointing because they put a lot of time and effort into Crysis 2, especially with the Crytek engine. And they really were hyping up the multiplayer. I mean, the single player was hyped up, but they were really pushing this multiplayer. Said this is going to be the way Crysis multiplayer was supposed to be. And it goes to show you how important maps are. I really think that in most multiplayer games, maps are everything. You know, you can talk about classes, and you know, talk about balancing classes if there's a class-based game, but a lot of games, including StarCraft, including Call of Duty, including Battlefield, including Crysis, including just about everything, even League of Legends, the maps kind of come into play. So if you have a poor map designer, you can have the most balanced characters in the world, but it's not going to be balanced. It's not going to be a true experience. So maps are very important. And it's kind of disheartening to see that Crysis 2's multiplayer died because of maps. So check the story out, guys, over on PlayStationLifestyle.net. They got the details about Crysis. The developers actually disappointed, and they have admitted to mistakes over there on PlayStationLifestyle.net. We're still on shooters, guys, and we're going to talk about Rage. Rage! 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 Rawr! 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 Rage! ID Games have detailed a little bit of information about open world in Rage. We're crazy about open world, guys. I don't know if it's the idea of an MMO or just people's interest in Grand Theft Auto with the sandbox environments, with Infamous and Crackdown and all these games with sandbox environments, and most recently with I think LA Noire is pretty much the same. All these sandbox environments. I never play LA Noire, so correct me, you will. People are crazy about them. So ID has gone on record to say that we got an open world, but it's directed. It's almost like taking a kid to a toy store and say, you can go anywhere you want, but go here first, or go here second, and go here third, and go here fourth. It's not open. That's just not open. I don't even know why they wouldn't say it's open but directed. It's crazy. He says that referring to the way the player will have scope to explore the wasteland while being directed down a particular path to complete individual missions. Now, that kind of sounds like Grand Theft Auto in a little bit, because in Grand Theft Auto, you really have missions that tell you where to go, but you don't have to do them. But I don't know. It's just the word directed kind of throws me off. It's like it's open, but go here. So I don't know. It's a hard question to answer, and I don't know. I would, if I was this guy, I would really say that we're not open, and then I would say that would be my opening statement. We're not open. Here's what we do have, you know. Because if you do say open, people are going to go in with certain expectations, like they can go in with Borderlands, like they can go through with Fallout. They can just go anywhere and do anything at any time, and if they're forced to go anywhere, they're going to say, this is a game on rails. ID has lied to us, my fellow brethren. This game is officially on rails. I wanted to go left. It made me go right. Why do you control me? I would just say it's not open. Because people have a certain set of expectations, and tell them it's open, they're gonna think they can go anywhere, anytime, do anything. Even from the beginning, you're like, I don't want to do this, Rails. I don't want to do this, Rails. This is on Rails. This stupid game is on Rails. I want my money back. Petition! I must go to the forums and express my anger. Check it out, guys. Rock Paper Shotgun has the details about ID's game Rage and about how it could be possibly open world, but directed open world. Very, very interesting. Now, we're going to move on and talk about Team Fortress 2, and there was a recent update, and I'm going to show you guys my video because I can. So, here we go. Video time with Bwana. Right after YouTube derps. Let me give it some time to buffer. Don't you hate when you go to full screen YouTube, it just forgets that it buffered any of the video? So while we're waiting on this apparent surprise, I'm going to talk a little bit about TF2. It came out with an update, and a lot of you guys were raging. If you go to the Steam-powered forums, you'll see talk about it. And man, people take these games way too seriously sometimes. And sometimes I even have to catch myself. Sometimes I have to catch myself. All right, boy, you're being a little bit too serious here. All right, just calm down a little bit, relax. And, you know, just take a step back and say, hey, it's only a game. It's only weapons. It's not freaking the end of the world, you know. So I'm going to let this get to halfway buffer, and then I'm going to start it, see how it goes. But this is a video I made on YouTube. You guys have probably already seen it. And I put it on my YouTube channel, so we're just going to start it out with this. You stupid derp-tastic crook. You stupid derp-tastic buffering, stupid YouTube, stupid. I hate you with everything in my body, my bones, and my feet. I can't stand you. Stupid. Okay, so what I did in that video just basically showed off the weapons and a little bit of gameplay. But there's some lasers. TF2 now has lasers. The Cow Mangler 5000 and the laser pistol, and the mutton chops don't have lasers, of course. And then you got the hat. And people went nuts. People went absolutely insane. And let me tell you why people went insane. They thought, or they think, that the laser gun is a little bit overpowered because on paper it sounds pretty strong. You get 5 rockets, which is 1 more than a normal. You have an alternate fire charge shot, which can light enemies on fire. It launches this big laser ball, and it can disable engineer sentries. And it also, let's see, what else can it do? I'm trying to think of all the positives. Oh, infinite ammo. It has no ammo limit. So you think, you hear that and you go, well, that's OP. That weapon is so OP. It's so OP. Well, when you go and actually use it, it's not OP. Let me tell you some reasons why. The reload is freaking slow, and even made it even slower in a recent update. The reload is slow. The trajectory is not like a laser. It's as slow as a normal rocket, so it's not like going to be pew pew like you saw in the gameplay trailer. That's why I put that out there. Also, the charge shot takes 3 seconds. You have to sit there moving as slow as a heavy for 3 seconds, charging the shot. Once you start the charge, you can't stop. Check this out. This is a spy's dream. You can sit there with a cloak and dagger and just wait for him to do it. This is also a sniper's dream. You see a soldier coming out, walking really slow. It's an easy headshot. It just makes them so vulnerable for that entire 3 seconds. So, to me, it's not as powerful as you think. And after using it for a few days, I like the Liberty Launcher a lot more. So that's just my opinion. I don't think the guns on paper it sounds really, really powerful, but when you go and actually use it, and it's just not all that great. Now the handheld, the pistol is very, very good. Although it's kind of hard to use because you have to lead shots. The projectile travels pretty slow, so you can't just like shoot like a pistol. You have to actually lead people, and it travels through multiple targets. So it's a good alt weapon. But I think the shotgun is still better for the soldier. That's just my opinion. And obviously the hat and the mutton chops just make you look like a boss. But the weapons are craftable. They cost, they're like insanely overpriced on the store, but you can craft them. They're really cheap to craft. You just need a black box and some reclaimed metal to craft the one. And I forgot what the pistol is. So this is Dr. Grordbort's update, which recently came out. So many people are raging, talking about the guns are OP, but I gotta say, I really want to hear these people complain after using it, and I think a lot of non-soldiers are complaining. So check it out, guys. This is over on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/IOBuff. That's the latest video. Dr. Grordbort's update. So while we're talking about TF2, I saw one of the bestest things in a long time. This is a TF2 demade game. Degressor, not a degreaser, but it's actually a digression. It's a 2D beat 'em up. Somebody has remade TF2 into a 2D beat 'em up where you kind of look like you're in the Ninja Turtles game. You're running around killing foes as they come at you. You got, in this video, they actually show a demo man dropping stickies and shooting people, a medic jumping up and down, shooting needles and things like that. Pretty cool. Supports multiplayer, and it should be out later this summer. It's going to be an absolutely free game. It's going to be downloadable from Eric Ruth Games' website. I'm definitely going to be downloading that, probably stream it. This demake is very promising. If you look at it, you see what they put into it. It's not just, something that somebody did in a few hours. You can tell they put a lot of time into this. And I think it's going to be very popular. Team Fortress Arcade, guys. Check it out. This is over on joystick.com. They got the details over there.
Please support Game Chat with Bwana by turning off your ad-blocking software.
Okay, guys, I've been going through League of Legends training, kind of like a League of Legends boot camp. I know a lot of you, when you saw my Bloodline Champions video, you're like, "Well, you should play League of Legends." Why don't you play League of Legends? What the heck is the matter with you, Bwana? You have never played League of Legends? And I didn't say anything about League of Legends in the video. And Bwana, you're talking about Bloodline Champions, but you obviously haven't tried League of Legends. League of Legends is so much better than this crap. Those are the comments that I got. A lot of them were verbatim. But I've been going through League of Legends boot training or boot camp, and some of the community members have been helping me. Atlas has been the main one. He's a community member. He's very good at the game. He's been driving the force. Sarams has been helping me. Some other folks, Pickled Undead, some of these seasoned guys have come in and helped us. Actually, I'm not gonna say me, because we've got some other players who recently just tried the game, and we got a bunch of new people kind of learning at the same time. It's very cool to watch because we're all kind of getting better, and we went from dying to bots to kind of like ganking people pretty fast. But the reason I bring up League of Legends is because over on esportseye.net, well, League of Legends has these new champions that come out like every couple weeks, and the latest one that's coming out is called Wukong, the Monkey King. Yes, or I should say, no, he does not have a Kamehameha wave. This is Wukong, the Monkey King. He has some pretty good abilities. One of his passive skills is Stone Skin. His armor and magic resistance are increased for every nearby enemy champion. He has an ability called a Crushing Blow. He swings his mighty staff with incredible speed, crushing his opponent. It deals additional physical damage and reduces the enemy armor for a short duration. Decoy, he utilizes his cleverness to trick his opponents. He becomes stealth for 1.5 seconds, and he leaves an uncontrollable decoy behind that will deal magic damage to his opponents. So it's very, very cool. It's almost like a clone he leaves behind. And there's another one called Nimbus Strike, where he dashes into a cloud towards the target enemy and sends out enemies for attack up to 2 additional enemies, blah, 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 blah. Nimbus, yeah, come on, guys. You know. If you don't know the history of Goku, look it up. This all sound familiar from Dragon Ball Z. Cyclone. Wukong's staff grows outwards and he spins it around, spinning damage and knocking it up to enemies, blah, 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 blah. Pretty much like Garen's spin move, almost exactly like that. And he gains movement speed over the duration of the spell. So this looks like it's going to be a pretty strong champion. Going to be coming out tomorrow. So if you do play League of Legends, you're going to see a lot of this guy on the ladder. I imagine there's going to be teams fighting to get him and to play with him. It's looking like a very strong champion. As a newbie into League of Legends, I ain't going to say anything about balance because I don't know jack about balance. So I just say, well, it's Goku. They had to Goku to League of Legends. So check it out, guys. This is over on esportseye.net. They got the details about Wukong, the Monkey King, coming tomorrow. Now we're going to talk about The Legend of Zelda. I said Zelda in a Sonic tone. Should I be punished? Not as Sonic, but as Sega. Sega. I said Zelda. I think I should be punished later for that. This is about Skyward Sword, and some new details have come forth about this highly anticipated sequel to the mini. I can't even call it a sequel anymore. It's just the next iteration of Zelda. They don't even tie in at all. So over at Comic-Con, some more information that dropped about Skyward Sword, and apparently you're going to be able to upgrade items. Very, very cool by, let's see, where do they say it? You can craft different shields. It says that, explaining that while Link begins with a traditional shield, he can craft different ones throughout the game by combining rupees with artifacts left behind by defeating enemies. And these upgrades will also apply to Link's beetle, shield, and other items. So you'll be able to upgrade, and to apparently there'll be some sort of level of customization of your items in Skyward Sword. So this is very, very cool. Some upgrades coming to Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword Check it out over on joystick.com. And for our final story, you and only you can help pick the next female Commander Shepard. Help pick it out. Only you can help pick out the next demon. Anyway, this is over on Joystick. They're talking about this particular female model, kind of a model show where we get the choice. You can go to the Facebook page. They have posted 6 images of potential prefabricated protagonists, asking fans of the franchise to vote for their favorite by liking one of the candidates. The current vote leader is Shepard number 5, and this is the one in the center. She's the blonde. Yeah. So if you're really, really looking forward to Mass Effect 3 and you want to have your say into the look of the new female Commander Shepard, check it out. This is over on joystick.com. You can go to the Facebook page and like whichever one you want. I know some of you probably got multiple Facebook accounts, so like them on all your accounts over there. And that concludes our particular segment for my stories. We're going to move on to your guys' stories that you have posted on the forum right now.
Tune in to all things Bwana throughout the week on live.bwana.tv and on justin.tv/Bwana.
Okay, so I'm going to go to the forums. I'm going to refresh a couple times. This is where you guys submit your stories. And let's see how many we got. We got a pretty decent list tonight. And let's see. The first story is Activision had plans for a high-definition GoldenEye all along. This sounds similar to what we talked about earlier. Let me close... Well, yeah, close our other tabs. That's probably the fastest way to do that. Okay, so Activision had plans for high-definition GoldenEye all along. Let's read it. Give them my link because it will still deliver more than its weak cousin. GoldenEye Reloaded is a particular. This is talking about GoldenEye Reloaded. The screenshots we talked about. Said their work on the HD version of the game was underway concurrent with the development of the Wii version last year. This was working in the background the whole time while they were working on the Wii game. So this whole thing has been in the works, obviously. I mean, we kind of assume that. They can't just like put it together in a month or something. But it was very important not to disturb the team as they completed the game. So for, let's see, once the work was completed, they shifted over to the high-definition version. And this is going to be the PS3 and 360 version that we saw screenshots for. Here are the screenshots listed here again. So apparently this article is saying that this was planned. That Activision wanted to get the Wii version out first and then shift resources over to the high-definition version next of GoldenEye. So thanks for the story. Fidget. Let's see. Also, Oslo terrorists use my... I'm not going to talk about that because that's... I don't want to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about the terrorist stuff. Let's see. Let's move on to the Mass Effect stuff. Mass Effect movie details emerge at Comic-Con. And oh boy, this content is sponsored by an ad that you can't disable. You will be forced to watch it and you can't even get the controls to disable it. You will watch 1/4 of this video and you will have no choice in the matter. All right. So I'm not going to click that X. I think that's actually not Google, but we're going to go. Let's see. New Mass Effect movie details emerge at Comic-Con. We talked about the movie before. The movie panel. Let's see. The only names attached to the movie are Casey Hudson and Mark Protasevich. Hudson is the creator of the game, and Protasevich made his name for himself in both I Am Legend and Thor. The panel admitted that there is not a history for not a good history for video game movies. Unlike most video games, Mass Effect won't focus on visuals. Blah 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 blah. According to the panel, the movie will focus just on the events of the first game. So that's something we haven't heard before. There's not going to be much from the second and third. First game follows Commander Shepard as he battles the Geth and ultimately saves the human race. Well, you just spoiled the movie. Gosh. You're going to watch it. You just told me the ending. Oh, man. Thanks for the story, Nicholas. Next story about Fidget. You can use Steam keys on Origin. You can use Steam keys on Origin. All right. So, blah, 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 blah. Running some tests on the computer, blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. That you can activate games that you've bought on Steam on Origin. Battlefield Bad Company 2, Dragon Age Origins, Mass Effect 2, Dead Space 2, Alice in Madness Returns, and Dragon Age 2. If you take the keys from Steam and you put them over there on Origin, those will work. So I guess this is a good way to get people to transfer over to Origin from Steam. So that's interesting. We talked about this last week about the whole Origin versus Steam thing. My attitude really hasn't changed since last week. I don't know what to think about this yet. I am going to buy Battlefield 3. I don't know if I'm going to buy. I'm probably not going to buy it on Origin. I'm trying to find a good spot to buy it. I was hoping Amazon would have a good deal because I like Amazon's download service because they give you basically infinite downloads. You don't have to pay like on those other services. All right, this is over on Kotaku. Thank you, Fidget. Steam keys, you can now use them on Origin. Emeraldale Republic has 19 major worlds built to last for decades. That was my own echo. Star Wars The Old Republic has 19 major worlds. That's a lot. Senior creative director James Olin has been speaking at Comic-Con. A lot of Comic-Con news today. The conference, reported by Darth Hayter and picked up by Eurogamer, reveals that players will be able to explore 19 major worlds on launch. This is good. And BioWare plans to add many more after that. We want to add dozens of worlds, hundreds of worlds eventually. In 2025, we'll hopefully have 500 worlds. All right. It's a little bit ambitious. A little bit ambitious to say that you're still going to be doing this game in 2025. The 19 major worlds aren't only explorable locations in the Old Republic. We have an indeterminate number of minor worlds, instances as we call them. Our goal, obviously, this being an online game, we're hoping they're going to last for decades. We're going to be obviously adding more to the galaxy map as the game progresses. So, yep. Pretty cool they're going to start with 19 worlds, but the whole 500 by 2025 is very ambitious. So, I guess they're trying to give players an incentive to stay with the game. Okay, cool. Thanks, Emeraldale. Let's go to your next story. Eurogamer. Let's see. Industry foresees free-to-play future. So do I. Okay. Industry foresees free-to-play future. Gaming is heading towards a free-to-play future with leading industry lights predicting the business model will take hold within the next few years. Thanks for the newsflash, Sherlock. Nah, I'm just messing around. Yeah, we've been talking about this whole free-to-play craze and how it's really becoming the business model of choice by all these game developers because, you know, it is the anti-piracy solution, if you think about it. How are you going to pirate a free-to-play game? You steal accounts. That's about the only way. Speaking of Develop X Sony executive Phil Harrison, Chris Lee and co-founder of DJ Hero, blah, 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 blah. I think by and large we're moving towards a free-to-play business model where the entry point is going to be free and you're monetizing the engagement. Now, this is just where we're going. And I don't like it, really. I really don't like it. Because it's a nickel and diming smorgasbord. Because the model itself is not flawed. It's just how companies can abuse it. By giving the game, giving the free version of the game like nothing. Like WoW. I wouldn't even call WoW a free-to-play game. Because you get the level 20s when you just started how to learn to play the game. It's more of an unlimited demo than it is a free-to-play game. Because after you hit level 20, what's there to do? You can't progress. You're stuck. You got to pay to keep going. So it's stuff like that. You really have to look at how these companies are packaging things. And recently I've been playing League of Legends. And I was really surprised as to how quickly I was able to get a new champion. Only after a few hours of playing, I had enough IP, if you will, to get a new champion. Because they give you a handful of champions to start with, and if you want to try others, you have to purchase them with in-game points. They call them not intellectual points, influence points. So I was really surprised at how quickly I was able to purchase one, and I like the idea of being able to earn these things. But when companies go on a limb and really abuse this system, it really gets out of hand. Especially if you have to pay what we talked about last time, pay to win, where some exclusive weapons or things like that you only can pay, you can't earn at all. It gets a little bit ridiculous. So Harrison himself is evidently a champion of the free-to-play model. Earlier this week, he was revealed that he pushed for Media Molecule's PlayStation 3 hit Little Big Planet to launch as a free-to-play title, downloadable game. Wow, I didn't know that. I really didn't know that he was pushing for Little Big Planet to be a free-to-play, downloadable PSN game. Maybe that's why they fired him. Someone was like, "Are you mad? We need to make money." He was like, "You're not seeing my vision. You will make 10 billions more." And he's obviously right. That's a very lucrative model. Check it out over on Eurogamer.net. Thanks, Simran Dill. Okay, next story. Mortal Kombat versus horror icons. What is this? That Jason. How this would work as a game. Mortal Kombat versus horror icons. There's a Scream guy. There's Jason. There's Freddy. Versus Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and Raiden. Oh, man. Mortal Kombat vs. Horror Icons is a fighting game that pits iconic characters from the Mortal Kombat universe as well as icons of famous horror and slasher films. Is this just like an idea that somebody came up with? That would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool, I gotta say. That would be pretty cool to see Jason versus Raiden or Freddy versus Scorpion. Good link. Thanks for that, Luxifer. All right, Michael. ESA seeks $11 million from California. What is this about? ESA. How are we doing on time here? I can't really tell because I didn't do a cut. Oh, hour and 4 minutes. All right. With the Supreme Court case decided, Gaming Trade Group looks for state to foot bill as lengthy gaming limit, blah, blah, blah. What? Okay, so ESA is looking for the state to pay its legal fees. So in essence, the Electronic Software Association announced the filing of a reimbursement motion for 1.1 million legal fees to claim from California. That's a lot of fees. They had to really pay. Wow, they had to pay a lot of money to win that injunction or win that case. According to the ESA's motion, California persisted in defending the law that plaintiffs warned the legislature was unconstitutional before it was passed. Blah 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 blah. I've never even heard about this kind of stuff because I'm not big into law. I didn't know you can sue for legal fees. It's interesting. So I hope they get their money because I'm glad they actually invested in that because that was a pretty stupid bill. It was so badly done. I mean there always is a good motive and then they just don't execute it right. It's just dumb how they do it. All right, check it out. Thanks for the link. Making Guild Wars 2 a social multiplayer or most massively multiplayer online game. It's another Comic-Con story. ArenaNet developers explain how upcoming Fantasy Online will distance itself from those on the market with unique group efforts. This is a panel, actually a Guild Wars 2 panel that was at Comic-Con. Let's see, the panel started off with developer-themed trailer. It showed environments, characters, featured gamers can expect to see. Johansson said that many MMOs on the market today have broken quest structures. He said quests in these games can easily become overrun by other players completing the same tasks, inhibiting a player from enjoying the experience. He said the point of Guild Wars 2 is to be social. It's about coming together and building communities. Okay. So I'm imagining somewhere in here they say where they're going to differentiate themselves. When players enter combat together, they earn individual experience and loot rolls. This was done in the name of creating an environment which players would organically decide to work together socially. Guild Wars 2 will not force players to choose one class or another. Rather, each character has his or her own healing capabilities. They're not going to go with the holy trinity of MMOs, tank, DPS, and healer. They're gonna. That's why I'm interested in Guild Wars 2. They're really thinking outside the box. They could really screw it up. When Guild Wars 2 does launch, it's going to cost a fee up front, but it will not require a monthly subscription. Blah 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 blah. So Guild Wars 2 is coming out hopefully soon. I didn't hear about a release date coming from Comic-Con. So thanks for the link, Michael. And From Dust has been delayed. I read about this. From Dust, this is Ubisoft's title. It's going to be exception to the rule Xbox Live Summer of Arcade exclusivity with both Xbox 360 and PC versions debuting on July 27th. Just 2 days to go, it's going to be delayed. The PC version will be pushed back to August 17th, whereas the console version will not be, apparently. Yeah, I think that's what I'm getting from the article. So, From Dust, if you're looking forward to that, you got to wait a little bit. It's going to sell for $15 on their own storefront as well as Steam. Going to be pushed back to August 17th. And Sony details PS Vita's online modes. Sony has revealed more about the PS Vita. Near, party, live area, and activity. Near, we talked about that already. Party. I don't think I've read about that one yet. Let's make this smaller. Party is really good for having friends together to discuss games, chat about them, and get into them. As on Xbox Live, Party is a platform-wide that allows you and 3 friends to form a party that sticks together regardless of what you do on the Vita. You can chat across games through text and voice. Holy crap. Cross-game voice chat. It's there and it's on Vita. All right. Every PS3 owner in the world is probably raging after reading that sentence, because PS3 owners have been asking for cross-game chat since day -1. Day -1. And it's coming to the Vita, but not to the PS3. Oh boy. So that's Party. Live area and activity. Live area is essentially where you go to launch a PS3 Vita day. Index live in game. So it's like a dashboard, it sounds like. Activity is a way for players to discuss progress. The system automatically puts a few activities in there. Encourages people to then comment similar to Facebook style. Okay, cool. And by the way, Gennaro from the chat, I'm not hating on Guild Wars 2. I'm actually going to buy Guild Wars 2. That's my most anticipated MMO this year. I'm just talking about by thinking outside the box, generally you really are taking a risk. But it sounds outstanding. Okay, so we got another story from CK Hound about Liquid Huck. Dream Huck. StarCraft 2 professional player. GSTL. It's a team league from GSL. So apparently Huck has scored an ace. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. So did he not lose? Is that what they're saying by ace? Or did he take out the entire team? Let's see. Last night, Huck made StarCraft and Team Liquid AF or TLF Liquid fans excited, fearful, and overjoyed and proud when he played against and defeated Czech Prime, Marine King Prime. Much of the excitement surrounding his wins has become not only the fact that he's a foreigner, so yeah. Very, very interesting indeed. I can't figure out what they're talking about, the ace, but Huck did very well. GSTL, proud of him. He's gotten a lot better since he moved to Korea, and I gotta commend him for what he's doing over there, because he when he first went over there he was good, but now he's gotten really, really good. And that concludes all of our stories that you guys have submitted, unless there's a page 2. I don't think there is. Nope, there isn't. That concludes all of our stories, and guess what it's time for? I think it's time for titles. You guys come up with the titles for the show. Look at the story list and come up with a witty title combination, and we'll vote for the best one right here in the chat. You guys come up with some good titles now. Last week you kind of disappointed me. I want to see something good. Let's do it. Well, looks like I'm about to come up with my own title. Let's look at my story list here. Let's come up with my own title here. Team Fortress $299 Rage. Wukong, the female monkey commander. Share mistakes and disappointment with beta test weekends. Rage brings raging to a whole new level. SWTOR free to play in 2025. Xbox 360 bundle, not include overpriced mic. $299.95 headset, a Professor Grordbort. The Crysis multiplayer Crysis may be over. Item upgrades and games demand. Shepard and Grordbort's adventures in open world. Rage brings open world to the table. Directed open world. Xbox 360 wants to buy another Xbox. Nerds' dreams finally come true with the rival Old Republic beta. Zelda gets hands-on with the Old Republic beat 'em up. think I got the 3 I want. Alright, here we go. From the list, here's the 3 I'm going to choose. That's number 1. That's number 2. Number 3. So we can, yeah, just 3. Just gonna do 3. So vote for your favorite one. As the votes are going now. Okay. And the winner is 1. Sword Tour free to play in 2025. So congratulations to Crytek coming up with that title. Crytek is the winner of this week's title choice. He wins absolutely nothing, no prizes, no nothing. He just gets to brag the next week. Alright. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and end the show there. I want to thank everybody for coming by. We do this every Monday night at live.bwana.tv or twitch.tv/Bwana. Starting about 8 p.m. Eastern. We start a little bit late tonight, but I apologize for that. Episode 25 of Game Chat with Bwana. I want to encourage you all to sign up for my forum at bwana.tv/forums. And also to follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/Bwana. And also, you can follow me at twitter.com/Bwana live if you want to know when I go live. We also do gaming here. And we also play video games. So if you want to know when I'm playing a game, you can follow that Twitter. All right, guys, that concludes our show for this week. And I will see you all next week. Have a great week and enjoy those games. Have fun and take care.